Hi, this is Dr. Go, and I've had some questions and been seeing a lot of people talking about musculature, injuries, things of that nature for violinists. Some basic things that we have to understand, just basic facts that are really not going to change. Number one, there is no such thing as stasis when it comes to muscles. Okay? Either they grow or they decay. The muscles in your body, they respond by what your brain is telling them according to what you need to do. So if your daily activity is very active, you will have more musculature in your body that's being used, and so your body will allocate more resources for them, keep them more healthy. If you are more sedentary, of course, there's going to be less muscle use, and your body will say, well, you don't need too much muscle for this, so it will allocate resources other places. So that's one basic thing. Okay, no stasis. Your body just responds to your activity level. Another thing that is very well known, is that violin playing tends to cause players to have rounded shoulders. Okay, instead of upright, they tend to round forward. This happens over time. The shoulder blades start to come apart as well, not apart, but they don't stay in their normal place. When you stand upright, they come forward a little bit. Okay, and your shoulders go forward, and this can lead to some injuries, especially with the joint pressing against the front of the shoulder girdle of muscles there. So this is something that happens with time. I'm not going to be talking about shoulder rest, no shoulder rest, or anything like this. That's a separate issue. It's just violin playing, especially put the violin up, reach forward to open up the bow, and I think this angle is better. You see the shoulder, especially for those of us with shorter arms, the shoulder comes forward. And with repeated motion of this, if we don't do anything to try to align things, a lot of times shoulder will start to round. Okay, so I've seen people talking about, improving strength in the forearms and stuff, or for left hand pizzicato, or doing things on the fingerboard, and things we have to realize about this too. Simple fact: there's not much for muscle in the fingers. If I understand correctly, correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comment section. But if I remember correctly, there aren't any actual muscles in the fingers themselves. Yeah, there's musculature here and here, and of course the forearm is what moves it. And another thing to remember is that when we're talking about musculature to move the fingers, your fingers, your hands grip great. I mean, they're created to grip things. Okay, so gripping is something that goes well. Repeated motions, especially finite things, you can overuse them. So that's where people start talking about, well, maybe if we strengthen them correctly, yes, that works. But there are certain things that we want to avoid. If you are a violinist that practices a lot, I'm talking 8-10 hours a day, you have to be careful about what you're doing with your hands to what is that called? To strengthen them. Okay, if you overdo something on your tendons, on your muscles, you can have injuries that will leave you out weeks, if not months. So, what types of things can we do? First of all, weight-bearing exercises are great if you are doing them properly. I suggest, if you are new to weight-bearing exercises, don't just simply go and grab something heavy and lift it. You're probably going to hurt yourself. Okay, I would strongly recommend getting a professional trainer and talking to them about what you're doing. Look them up just the same as you would look up a doctor and research before you go and sign up with a doctor. Same thing. Okay, look up a trainer. From what I've noticed over the years is that full range exercises, things that have you doing full range of motion, seem to work better. And as far as things for building forearms and stuff, look, a violinist does not need to look like a Mr. Universe competitor. That's just silly. Okay? For our profession, we don't need that type of bulk and symmetry in our body or whatever. We just need to stay healthy. Okay? So things that I've noticed that have worked really well for myself, a lot of my students and colleagues, instead of sitting there and doing all these things, tiny motion with heavy weights and stuff like that, hammer curls, things like that, just simply put, farmer carries. You can do it with dumbbells. You can do it with the newer age weights, where they have grips on them and stuff. Sorry, the plates for barbells and stuff. They have holes that you can put your fingers through and carry them. In a pinch, you can just carry around like heavy bottles of detergent. Make sure that you carry even on the sides. You don't need to do like the CrossFit thing where they purposely carry uneven weights just to confuse the muscles a little bit. You don't need to do any of that advanced stuff. Okay, just keep it simple, and you want to treat it like a regular weight training thing. So 3 sets, 5 sets, and keep it safe. Yeah, like I said, nobody needs to become an Olympic athlete just to play the violin. Okay, you'll be spending too much time on exercising, working out, not enough time on your craft. And then you risk other things as well, other types of injuries. So I know I've thrown a lot at you in this video, but I do hope that this is helpful. Okay, there's a lot more to this topic. A lot more, and it gets into like the nitty gritty of stretching the hands and such. But I just wanted to lay out some basic ideas, things to give all of you a good direction on how to create your own routines, if you will, to keep yourself muscularly happy. Sorry, not happy, but healthy, and to try to prevent injuries that really don't need to happen or occur. Okay. One more thing I wanted to touch on was the whole idea of left hand pizzicato. Now, if any of you have heard my Ernst recordings or any such, or see me perform live, my left hand pizzicato it's known for being loud, and it's not from muscle. Okay, it's just from good form. The one thing I've seen a lot of people talking about strength, especially for left hand pizzicato and also things like that in the left hand. Please be careful. Please be careful. Investigate more about proper form rather than just going for, I have to build muscles in order to do this. There's very little in violin that requires muscles. I've seen very, very small, weak people make incredibly huge sounds on a violin. It's not strength and power and weight that makes sound on a violin. It's just good technique. Okay? So if we go slowly, watch yourselves in the mirror, really listen carefully, try to just be physically aware, that will probably get you a louder left-hand pizzicato, and other types of techniques rather than forcing the instrument. Okay? Hope this helps. Cheers. And any questions or things like that, please leave in the comment section. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a good one.